storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
Now, storm chasers, come on and get in here. I had to give you guys this quick update from the Diddy trial before we're gonna go live later after they're officially done and go through all of the the dialogue for the day. But in the meantime, I wanted to update you guys on Don's official response to Q. Okay, then I want to get into a statement that Capricorn Clark made about Diddy. I had to come and talk about this now. And guess who else is still like crashing out? Yandy's best friend, ex-bestie. Yandy's ex-bestie is still currently crashing out right now. So let's go ahead and get into it, because after that, I gotta go and get a lineup. All right. So Don from Day 20. Don from Danity Kane posted an official response to Q from Day 26, her ex-boyfriend, her ex-boo thing, who I am here to let y'all know allegedly at one point she walked in on him having sex with a man, allegedly. That's just what I heard in the streets, allegedly. Okay. Now, he claims that she gave him an ecstasy pill, a red ecstasy pill, and then 20 minutes later he blacked out, and there was a bunch of like phone cameras recording him, people laughing, and he woke up screaming. He was just in his shorts. At one point, he jumped in a pool. This is all allegedly, according to Q. And even in that story, there was a lot that he left out. Because you waking up crying and screaming in pain, yeah, you could have had a bad trip. But on the other hand, it really sounds like y'all put two and two together. Okay, why else would you wake up and scream in pain as a man? On top of that, y'all had to school me. Oh, allegedly, Angela. I'm just telling you what somebody told me. This allegedly, right? Now, in addition to that, y'all had to school me. I think this was last week when we did the story now, because today's Tuesday. Y'all had to school me because I didn't know that ecstasy came in red. I thought that ecstasy was blue. And then y'all said, no, when it's cut with one thing, it's blue. When it's cut with another thing, it's red. I didn't know. Listen, I ain't no drug user. So I just know from the movies. I thought ecstasy was always blue, but y'all told me it could be any color. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give this update. Let's get into this right now. So Don said, I want to be unequivocally clear. I have never drugged anyone, nor have I ever given anyone pills to take. The suggestion that I did is categorically false. If such a belief were genuine, it would be inconsistent with the actions that followed, such as inviting me into your home, introducing me to your younger sisters and family, and continuing a relationship with me. It would also be inconsistent with choosing to attend social events with me, engaging with individuals I had previously expressed concerns about, and continuing to live with or provide favors for those same individuals. Ooh, what favors? Okay, Don. Many of these actions occurred while I was not present or even in contact with you. So she's saying, if I drugged you, Negro, if I drugged you, then why was you still with me? Now, Don, this is where I got to pull you and your hair transplant and your pixie cut. Because if Diddy was so violent, why did you want to go back and work with him after? After Diddy let you go from Dirty Money when that was over, Don, you called Diddy back and wanted a mother-sucking job. So the same person who abused you, the same person who threw you in a limo van and locked you in a limo for 2 hours, the same dude who starved you, who kept you and Danity Kane up for 5 days at a time, barely wanted to feed y'all, threatened your life. So if Q should have let you go after you gave him that pill as his girlfriend, you damn sure should have got away from an employer who was whooping and beating on your ass. See, this is when I say, wisdom is fast, but you're faster. Empathy chases you, but you outrun it. And that's on your pixie cut, your hair transplant, and everything else. Throughout our time together and even after our separation, I made a conscious decision to not share or disclose private matters or the circumstances surrounding the end of our relationship to protect you. I did this out of respect for you and your family. I told you. Did not? I told you. Did not tell y'all allegedly she walked in on him having sex with a man? Didn't I tell you? You see how she putting, you see how she, you got to be able to read in between the lines. You got to be able to read in between the lines. Okay? Then she says, at this moment, I believe it is essential to recognize that many people are dealing with pain and hardship. This situation is not about one person. It reflects broader harm that has affected many. I sincerely hope that healing and wholeness are possible for all involved. My intention is and always has been to move forward with compassion and integrity, and I pray that others can do the same. Okay, so I'll leave that there. In my opinion, you know, I don't really believe that Q would just make that up out of nowhere. Although what I will say is that he's still not being completely truthful. He's still not being completely forthcoming. And until Q is really ready to tell it all, you know, people gonna be able to poke holes in your story. It is what it is. Do I believe Don would have given him an ecstasy pill from Diddy? I believe you would have did whatever the fuck Diddy told you to do. You didn't have no motherfucking backbone. None of them niggas had a backbone. Y'all was all scared, which is understandable. Scared for your life and scared for your livelihood. So at the end of the day, if Diddy told you to do something, I believe you would have did it. And him being your boyfriend, he would have took it. Because it seemed to be Diddy kept people around him that didn't have any kind of autonomy over their own fucking bodies, no backbone. This is why I tell y'all, stop raising these super obedient ass children. I understand you want them to obey you, but they go out in this world and they are targets for predators. Stop raising these kids to be super sweet and loving. They will be motherfucking targets. Raise your kids to have a back motherfucking bone. Raise your kids to question things. Raise your kids to go against status quo. I know a lot of times y'all want blind obedience from your children, and I understand that, but I'm seeing like so many instances of like, don't get me wrong, you do what you got to do to keep yourself safe in a situation. You do what you got to do to make it back home safely. Sometimes you might, even as a man, sometimes you might have to take disrespect just to keep your life, but you don't go back to the situation. Sometimes you might have to take an ass whooping just to make sure you get back home safe. But these motherfuckers, I'm sorry, y'all, they was getting their ass beat, they was getting great, and then they kept going back for more. Raise your children to not be nice, to advocate for themselves and advocate for their body, and whoever don't like it, fuck them. You cannot raise naive ass kids. You just can't. That's from Q, Cassie, all of them. If y'all don't listen to nothing else I say, please keep that in mind. Okay, so that was her statement on that. All right, so moving right along. Okay, shout out to the neighborhood talk. Hold up. Shout out.
It's Storm Show. Ay, it's Storm Show.